Hello, everyone. This is Group 2, and our presentation for today is on transcultural fandoms and BTS. So, this is based on our reading for this week on the article You Can't Help But Love Them BTS Transcultural Fandom and Effective Identities by Courtney McLaren and Dal Yongjin. Here are our group members, so feel free to pause and read about us. Here on this slide is a summary of what we will be discussing in our presentation for today.
This article will focus on the increasing role of global fandoms in the circulation and consumption of such hybridized popular cultures, drawing on theories of transcultural fandom. This article is talked about BTS within a product of these hybridized transcultural flows of content, effect, and identity. It explores the popularity of BTS in the content of fans' social media use and the identification with BTS through the band's online content, music, and authentic image. And to discuss how BTS Global applies not only in the global circulation of content and products across borders, but also the transcultural flows of affective affinities and identities constructed by BTS and the global army worldwide. And there are total 7 people in the BTS group. The first one is Red Monsters, the second is Jin, and the furthermore is Sugar, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook.
The first topic we chose to speak about is hybridity and transculturalism. So to define hybridity, it's a reflection of globalization as a whole. It began as a response to the limits of cultural imperialism and perspectives, and it considers the interaction and mixing of various cultures. It's actually considered an outcome of negotiation between global and local forces, whilst also taking into consideration the power dynamics between those forces. Now, transculturalism is defined as relating to or involving more than one culture. And in the reading, Crady emphasizes that cross-cultural contact is a catalyst of broader contexts, specifically those regarding economics and sociopolitics. But Jin actually states that hybridity should not just be a form of style reflecting new trends within the global popular culture, but it should actually be understood as the ways in which local cultural players, like governments and cultural producers, negotiate with global culture and utilize them as resources through which local players can create unique spaces. So, how are BTS and K-pop examples of transculturalism? Now, throughout the article, BTS is examined within and as a product of the hybridized transcultural flows, and this is through both their content and identity. And their global appeal, does lie in the international circulation of content, but also cross-cultural flow of affective affinity and the identity constructed by both BTS and ARMY as a group. Now, transcultural fandoms are increasingly popular spaces where groups of individuals from varying backgrounds form communities and connect around these shared identities. And affective affinity is actually defined as the extent to which any individual perceives a positive relationship between themselves and a thing. So in this case, that affinity is between BTS's music, values, and identity, and ARMY as fans. So essentially, the reading touches upon the fact that fans become fans of foreign cultures, not only because of where they are produced, but they actually feel that affinity regardless of origin.
So, our second main argument of this article involves the use of social media. And within this new era of digital media and technologies, our way of attaining information and exposure to the ongoing events in the world are of easier access than ever. So, when considering BTS and the K-pop phenomenon in this situation, the article states that the affordances of digital technologies are increasing the access and circulation of Finnish pop culture. So, just through our devices and with technology fluency, everything can be shared quickly with easy access. With that being said, it is the various social media platforms that grant international fans with convenient access to content. So there's the fact that it would be reaching a wider fan base, reaching many parts of the world where international fans can consume content from where they are. So this leads to the point of the expansion of K-pop beyond Korea and East Asia that can be seen as due in part of the strategic adoption of digital platforms. So for example, YouTube. And here to the right side of the screen, I put a few examples of social media platforms that specifically BTS use along with their fan base. And so it keeps the interaction between fans and as well as the other members. And it has become easy for both parties to feel closer to one another despite being in various parts of the world. And so back to the point of strategic adoption of digital platforms, the companies have ways on various accounts, so utilizing them to promote the group. And while the company is doing that, fans utilize social media to consume and circulate such content. And yes, as mentioned, it has been successful in such a strategic way of helping the promotion of the group, but yet it is also the fact of how accessible BTS related content have become for fans and as well as other people, having to increase the exposure towards the group. And so fans are able to create content that other fans can consume, sort of this exchange of interest that they have for the group. And so altogether, there are official and unofficial content, translations, products, and news on the internet that become available to fans, of which explains why social media aspects and stuff that take place online has such an effect towards BTS.
Our third topic is authenticity. Authenticity is being true to oneself in terms of personality, values, and spirit, regardless of how others may influence you. The social critique and authenticity of BTS has impacted their popularity on a global scale, and their distinctive style is what sets them apart from others. While many hip hop groups like Big Bang use the aesthetic of hip hop, BTS adopts hip hop as part of their identity. Besides hip hop, they have released songs in many different genres as their discography ranges from pop to R&B and even EDM. The role that the members have in songwriting and producing is evident through the themes of their songs, which generally capture the struggles of youth in society, as well as discussing socially conscious topics such as the economic hardships that youth face and the lack of action against global inequalities. Jung and Kim state that themes of dreams, youth, overcoming challenges, and self-discovery have been embedded in their music, which can be seen in their trilogy album The Most Beautiful Moments in Life, as well as the Love Yourself trilogy, with further messages regarding learning to love oneself through hardship. These themes reflect BTS's own experiences and as how many fans have connected to their music. The messages that BTS and their music send reinforce their authentic image and is relatable to youth around the world.
Now we're going to cover this week's lecture to previous week's lecture. So relation to readings. Connection to previous week article. The article we're covering is You Can't Help But Love Them, BTS Transcultural Fandom and Effective Identities. And it talks about the success journey of BTS band along with the message their song gives and the various factors contributing towards their success. The previous week article which we covered was Mass Media Technologies and Popular Music Gens, K-pop and YouTube. It mainly focuses on the mass media and technology playing its role in today's world by using BTS and their success journey as an example. The similarities between the two articles lies where along with varied factors both of them considered Mediascape to be responsible for BTS growth over a short span of time. The technological modern era we live in mainly revolves around the media and the role it has played in the success of everything around us.
1, 2, 3. The next things I'm gonna talk about is the cultural product. Aside from being a superstar with many chart-topping hits and a global fandom, BTS has proved their influence with love from armies worldwide and celebrities. And this group is not only active in the field of music, but they also have their own ideas on artistic creativity. It seems as if another part of BTS family has recently showcased their popularity. I think should have been members of the BT21 family. You may have noticed these beautiful little characters in your free sticker options in messaging applications like Line, Facebook, or even Instagram. But you may have not realized they were tied to the K-pop icons BTS. The characters were created in late September 2017, and the boys spent a day sketching characters' ideas at the Line Friends store. And then a team of designers helped them turn these rough sketches into more defined characters. The characters group name BT21 was inspired by a comment from Suga, who thought the characters should represent both BTS and the 21st century, so they will live for the next 100 years. And nowadays, special BT21 pop stores and cafes have opened across Asia over the last 1 year. And they've also reached America, with pop stores held recently in New York and Los Angeles. Along with unique stickers, the BT21 Cafe features different menu items in each country and city. And well, that's exactly the intention. Feel for the animated charms of BT21, and these characters will lead you to the world of BTS in a different way.
Now moving on to our discussion questions. So our first question is, how has the idea of hybridity and transcultural fandoms affected other genres of music? And are there examples of effective affinity between Western artists and their fans?
Our second question is regarding authenticity. So how do we as an audience determine what is genuine authenticity versus a marketing ploy? And that is all for our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed.